Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So by now most of you have already seen the video when Auntie Donna handed over tuition to the UTech student yesterday in true planker shop style. While I did not see how she met this student, Marcus, I'm going to assume that she raised the money of over $500,000 for the student with the assistance of donors. So, congratulations to Planker Shop donors and Auntie Donna. The video started with a brief introduction done by Auntie Donna. However, she went on to explain that they wanted to go upstairs to what she referred to as the financial area, which I'm assuming she meant by the bursary. And Marcus, he could not go. He had to stay behind because they had no wheelchair access. It was then I started to really think, why wasn't there wheelchair access for Marcus and others who are physically unable to walk up a flight of stairs? I'm not casting blame on the institution per se. However, students in such a place should have access. There should be access for all students. It's clear that in some things, Jamaica has first world standards. However, in other areas, they're operating like they're in 1962. It's full time the builders, contractors, the government, school administrators take their game up to first world standards. What do I mean by this? It's access for all. This country, they don't treat people with disabilities as human beings. Every now and again, we hear of individuals with disabilities lamenting over access to schools, jobs, and other things that, will give them a fighting chance in this life. There are stories of the blind being hit down by cars because there are no sidewalks or there are no safe way to cross the street. There have been a handful of high school students who faced hardship because the school didn't have the basic wheelchair ramp. Can you imagine how these students feel turning up to a school and they can't get to their classes? It's degrading and it's embarrassing. It's kind of like being invited to dinner where you watch other people sitting down eating and you weren't given a chair, or better yet, you weren't given a plate. I've seen some videos of students lifting physically disabled students to and from their classes up flights of stairs. It's a sad situation. It's very sad. I think it looks worse on a university though, where students they choose to be there, they pay to be there, yet they cannot have access to all the facilities like other students. I remember being in college in Jamaica a couple of years back, and we had visually impaired students. Everyone knew that. At times, there were chairs or tables left on corridors. Sometimes there were construction being done on campus where holes were dug and items left behind by workmen. Sometimes there were broken sidewalks, and sometimes there weren't any kind of ramps for them to have access to their classes. I view all of this as a form of discrimination. It is full time. This country caters to the needs of all its citizens by giving everyone the same opportunities and access to their needs. Is it that they're deliberately leaving out these disabled people? Or are they just thoughtless? How about they don't value their input in society? It's like they're still in an era where they think the quote unquote handicapped people, they stay at home, hidden in the darkness, peeping from behind curtains. I remember some years ago, I heard of a ministry or this gentleman who was responsible for seeing about the well-being of the disabled. What is it that this ministry is doing? Then again, if we, the able-bodied people, have difficulties on the street and off the street, what's happening to these disabled people? Sometimes they are mad for lick you down out the road because of the sidewalk and vendor up on the sidewalk, or you just not sit on sign across the street. I remember the first time I went overseas and I saw the number of sidewalks, crossing signs, stoplights, and everything. I was completely shocked. We live in a country where we are all fighting for scraps. I mean, the basic human rights. It's almost like if the least vulnerable don't have those rights, well, it's almost like if the least vulnerable do not have those rights, then the vulnerable, they just have to stay at the back of the line. Which, it definitely seemed like an eternity. Because year after year, I hear these little voices saying that, we need these things for the disabled. But after a time, they go silent. UTEC, it not look good. Jamaican government, it was not look good. With the looming general elections, I wonder if these things are part of the agenda. Brother, on the need for the better. People of the country, you all need to advocate for yourself and advocate for others. Take care. Bye-bye.